E aí, tô ao vivo? Eu sempre tenho que conferir, né? Porque senão você já sabe. É microfone mutado. Deixa eu ver. Deixa eu ver se eu já tô ao vivo. Ah, gostaram da thumbnail? Deixa eu abrir o chat aqui também. Tô me ouvindo. Nice. Hi, folks. Cheguei. Ai, Jimmy, o café não era pra ser de manhã? Não, eu tomo café de tarde também, ó. Hoje o dia foi corrido, né? Com muitas aulas, graças a Deus. Inclusive, acabei uma aula agora às 2. São exatamente 3 e... A aula das 2, na verdade. Acabei às 3. São 3h07. A gente vai começar aqui. E já, às 4, já vou dar outra aula. Então, vamos adiantar que hoje é dia de B1. Nível B1. O que eu fiz aqui pra hoje? O que eu preparei pra vocês hoje? Hoje, a gente vai falar sobre uma notícia. Normalmente eu trago histórias aqui, né? Mas hoje vai ser sobre uma notícia muito triste que aconteceu essa semana, que foi a morte do Papa Francisco. A gente vai ler, eu vou ler uma notícia aqui e depois vou comentar sobre aspectos de gramática, de fonologia, de vocabulário. Essa aula de hoje não vai ter tanta gramática não, mas enfim. E vou fazer algumas perguntas no final, beleza? Vamos nessa, já que hoje é quarta-feira. A partir de hoje, quarta, quinta e sexta, nível B1, B2 e C1, é tudo em inglês. Da leitura ao comentário. Tá bom? Pra você já ir se acostumando. Você aí que é nível B1 e fica, né, tendo aula de inglês em português, não existe isso, né? Principalmente a partir desse nível, não tem como. Beleza? Vamos nessa. Slide na tela pra vocês. Cadê? Pronto. Deixa eu colocar aqui. O que eu fiz? Eu peguei essa notícia de um portal e eu adaptei ela utilizando inteligência artificial. Então, ela tinha um vocabulário bem mais pesado, bem mais denso. Só que aí eu adaptei, eu pedi para inteligência artificial adaptar o vocabulário para um nível B1. Então não vai ter nada muito misterioso aqui. É bem provável que vocês não vão saber todas as palavras, todos os significados de todas as palavras. Mas acho que a maioria aqui vocês vão conhecer. Beleza? Já dei uma conferida aqui para ver se não tem nada muito esquisito. De um nível muito maior, né? Mas não, tá tranquilo. A AI fez um bom trabalho. Vamos nessa. Pope Francis dies at 88 on Easter Monday. Primeiro eu vou ler, depois eu vou comentar, como eu sempre faço. Vamos nessa. Pope Francis died on Easter Monday, April 21st, 2025. He passed away at the age of 88 in his home at the Casa Santa Marta in the Vatican. At 9:45 in the morning, Cardinal Kevin Farrell announced the Pope's death. He said, "Our Holy Father Francis died at 7:35 this morning. He gave his life to serving God and the Church. He showed us how to live with love, courage, and care for the poor and those in need." Later, the Vatican press office said that Pope Francis's body might be moved to St. Peter's Basilica on Wednesday, April 23rd. People will be able to visit and pray in front of his body. On Monday evening at 8 p.m., a special ceremony was held to confirm the Pope's death and place his body in a coffin. This took place in the chapel at his residence. The ceremony lasted about 1 hour. Also on Monday, his rooms in the Vatican were closed and sealed. Some of his closest helpers and friends have already come to say goodbye. Deixa eu ver o que a Ari tá me mandando aqui. Quando sua mulher mandar mensagem, tem que ver, né? Ovinhos de Páscoa, docinhos carinhosos. Eu, hein? Já tá querendo presente, ó. Falar pra ela que a Páscoa já acabou. Chega de ovo de Páscoa, chega de chocolate. Okay. A meeting of cardinals will take place on Tuesday to decide when the funeral will happen. Okay. Deixa eu ver se eu tô ao vivo ainda. Não estraguei nada não, né? Okay. Nice. Yeah, it is indeed a sad news, right? But an interesting article to read. So, what am I going to comment on this article? Okay. First, grammar aspects. As far as grammar goes, I don't think there's anything that mysterious about this article, right? If you're a B1 level student, if you're on this level, I assume that you already know the simple past. So I'm going to underline some of the verbs in the simple past. For example, died, passed away, announced, said, died again, gave, showed. Okay, yeah. That's all for this page. All right. So, nothing crazy. Just a regular simple past, okay? To indicate a one-off event in the past. Right? Jimmy, why didn't he use the simple, the present perfect here? Pope Francis has died. Because there is a timestamp. Let me highlight the timestamp. On Easter Monday, April 21st, 2025. So we use the simple past to indicate, to talk about one-off events in the past that already finished, right? And in sentences where we use in which we use the simple past, we must add a timestamp. That could be yesterday, last week, 2 years ago, in 2023, in 1997, okay? Whereas on the present perfect, we are focused on the event, not when it happened. All right? That's why they used the simple past here to indicate the time. They're focused on the time. Great. Let me erase this. Okay. Perfect. So as far as grammar goes, it's all right. Phonology-wise, this is something that I always talk about here on this live streams. At least on the B1 classes, B1, B2, and C1 classes, right? Which has to do with which is the ED pronunciation, the regular verbs pronunciation. This ending in ED can have up to 3 ways to pronounce it. Okay, depending on the verb, we can choose either one of those 3. And yeah, for instance, we have past. This sounds exactly like past, present, future, right? The word past. Okay, they are homophones, past and past. In this case, passed away means died. It's a softer way, a more polite way of saying that somebody died. Okay? So, like using the word died. Oh, John Doe died. It's like a bit harsh. Yeah. So, passed away, it's a more polite way of announcing somebody's death. Oh, I'm so sorry, but your uncle passed away. Okay? And yeah, this ed will have a T sound. Why is that, Jimmy? Because, or rather, how do we know if this ed will sound like a T, D, or an id sound? Well, you just have to analyze the last sound of the verb and the base form. Okay? In this case, it's a s sound. Pass. And to pass of the base form, that's just pass. So it's a voiceless sound. Therefore, when we form the past, the ed will sound like a t. Okay? So he passed away. He passed away. Great. Same goes for announced. This will also have a T sound. So announced. Okay. Mind the pronunciation of said, because a lot of people tend to say said, but no, it has an E sound. Okay, so said. This has nothing to do with the ed, okay, but it's just something I want you to know. Said, he said. Great. Okay, another regular verb here. Showed. This one will have a D sound, a D sound, okay? So he showed us. It's also important that you put an effort to make this connection. Showed us, okay? That's also really important. It makes you sound more natural when you connect the words, when you put the words together, when you use the available connected speech tools. Okay, this one, by the way, is called catenation. When we connect the last consonant sound of a word to the first vowel sound of the next word, of the following word. Alright? Great. What else do we have here? Yeah, I think we're good. Oh, vocabulary. I almost forgot about vocabulary. Let me change colors. Okay, let me use the good old green for vocabulary. Vocabulary wise, we have passed away, meaning he died. Okay. A cardinal is, well, I'm not a specialist as far as the Catholic Church goes. Okay, so I'm not 100% sure on that. But I think a cardinal is just one position below the Pope. Okay? I know it's a high position within the Catholic Church, but I'm not sure exactly how high it is or how low it is. Right? Love, courage, poor. I think we're good, aren't we? Yeah, let's go to the next page. Okay, not vocabulary, grammar-wise now. I will underline a few verbs here. There you go. Moved, be moved, rather, might be moved. Will be able to. Was held. Will be able to visit and pray. Let me add the whole thing here. Took place. So to confirm. Yeah, lasted. Okay, yeah, we're good. So what do I have to comment about those verbs? Simple past again. Here we have a modal verb, might, that indicates probability. A low probability though. Just a quick overview on modals of deduction. We have must. That indicates a high chance, let's say a 9%, 80% chance for an event to happen. Bloody hell, what was that parenthesis? We have may, that can be like a 50% chance when you say that something may happen. And might. I can't write below that word, so I'll just write it here. And might, which is another model of deduction, that indicates that something has, that an event has 25% chance of happening. Okay, so these are the models of deduction. We can also add could and can't here, okay, but they are more related to possibility than probability. All right. Okay, so when they said that Pope Francis's body might be moved to St. Peter's Basilica on Wednesday, April 23rd, there is a low probability of that happening. Like all these events combined, that will be on Wednesday, that will be on April 23rd, and at this place. Okay, but you don't need to be, you know, to take this percentages too seriously. All right, it's just an idea. Cool. Then we have the, oh, this one is interesting. Will be able to. Well, this indicates a future ability. A lot of students, they make the mistake of saying, let me change the color to illustrate this. Let me get a dark blue. Yeah, dark blue is solid. Cool. A lot of students make the mistake of when they're willing to talk about a future ability, they tend to say will, can. For example, people will can visit, but this does not exist. This is wrong. Okay? When you want to talk about a future ability, you must use rather will be able to, okay, to indicate this future ability, that the person will be able to do something, or that people will be able to, people will have the ability, will have the possibility. It's more related to ability, the capacity to visit and pray in front of his body, right? When this, when the time comes. Okay, so this is interesting to say the least. Okay, was held, we can see the passive voice here. The ceremony didn't do anything, right? People, it were the people who held the ceremony. So the ceremony was held. The ceremony was the one who took the action. Okay, that's why we have this structure here. Great. And a classic simple past verb. And lasted. Okay. I'll just jump to the phonology now. Okay, we have the ED pronunciation again. What color did I... Okay. Yeah, light blue. I think I need something lighter. Yeah, we're good. Okay. This ED will sound like an id. How do I know that? Well, again, you just have to analyze the last sound of the base form. In this case, it is a voiced sound, but it won't be pronounced. The ED won't be pronounced as a T. Why not? Because the last sound is a T. So in order to avoid repetition, to avoid repeating like the same sound, one followed by the other, we're going to use the third case, which is id, lasted. In the American accent, lasted, lasted. Okay? So the ceremony lasted. Great. Phonology-wise, do I have anything else to say? I don't think so. Let's jump to vocabulary. Okay. There are some... Oh, it was green, wasn't it? Cool. Oh, yeah, there's one more thing here. Every time we have the apostrophe S to indicate possession, like that the body is from Pope Francis. It's Pope Francis's body. To indicate that possession, phonology-wise, like when we pronounce this apostrophe S, right? By the way, even though there isn't another S here, we'll have to apply this pronunciation rule, right? We must pronounce this apostrophe S as is. So Pope Francis's body. Another example, Jesus's disciples, Bruno Mars's songs. Okay, so every time the proper noun ends in S and you want to indicate possession, you will pronounce this extra S as is. You will add an I vowel instead of just saying like Pope Francis' body. Okay? A lot of people do that, but it's not the most appropriate way of doing it, of pronouncing it. Okay? Cool. Vocabulary wise, oh, there are some interesting words here. Look. First we've got, let me see, something I think you don't know. Held. So, I am holding a class now. Does it mean that I'm doing this to the class? No, I'm presenting, let me see a way that I can break it down to you. Yeah, this one is kind of difficult to explain, isn't it? Yeah. When it comes to lectures, ceremonies, classes, this is the verb we use, right? For classes, I can also say that I'm teaching a class, but I can definitely use I'm holding a class. I held a class. Okay, It means that I'm in charge of explaining and doing the event, the ceremony in this case, right? Cool. Coffin. A coffin is the object we use to put a dead person in, right? Is that big wooden box where people go to after they die. Okay? It's the one that will dig a hole in the ground and bury it. And last but not least, we have a chapel. A chapel is a small church, very tiny church, where you can go to pray and basically to say your prayers. And I don't think you can perform a mass in a chapel because they are really small. But I may be wrong, right? For instance, when I went to Liverpool last year in November, 5 months ago, I was in Liverpool, 5 to 6 months ago, and I went to the Liverpool Cathedral, and inside the cathedral, which is an enormous church, there was a chapel made for kids. Yeah, there were some kids' paintings and things of that sort. There were even kids, like at the time I went there, they were praying and so maybe you can perform a mass there, but I'm not sure. Okay, but a chapel then is a small church. Cool. Okay, guys, I think we're good for now, so that I won't extend this class too long, right? I know that there were some things here to analyze. Oh, there's just one page left, but I'll have to skip that because of the time. Okay, so these are some questions that you can answer in the comment section of the video. Oh, I forgot to say who got the gold medal for commenting on yesterday's video, right? Yesterday's live stream. And it was let me see if I can find his name. Can you see this? Comments. No, it's in the community tab. Jorge André Salles Paula. Gold medal to you. Okay? Thanks for commenting. So, guys, now you can answer these questions in the comment section of this video, of this live stream. Alright? When did Pope Francis die? How old was he when he died? Where did he die? Who announced his death? What did Cardinal Farrell say about Pope Francis? What will happen on April 23rd, 2025? What happened on Monday evening after his death? Why will the Cardinals meet on Tuesday? Okay? So those are really simple questions. You can just look back on the article and find all these answers in there. So guys, have a nice day, and I'll see you tomorrow with another class. A different topic, a different level, and that's it. Alright, I have to hurry up because I have another class in 25 minutes. And my voice is almost gone now.